Hello everybody, it is your girl Andrea, the Global Voice Mason and your personal accountability coach, alumni, and under the mentorship of the legendary Dr. Les Brown. How are you doing today? Today I'd like to tap into what I like to be mindful of is mental health. What do I mean by mental health? That you have the stigmatism of somebody who lacks intellect, lacks clarity, lacks emotion, and has gone through a traumatic or dramatic event. Sure, those roles have been a possibility, an option, or an avenue, but it is also having the inability to think clearly due to all of the emotions, false limiting beliefs, and if you want to get scientific at times to base off the level of functioning, the chemical imbalance in the brain. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have dedicated over 2 decades of my life in experience and knowledge of social work and psychology. And I have worked in the industries from incarceration to infancy to working with inmates on the streets, homelessness, foster shelters, as well as individuals who were of elite status and then their level of function has decreased dramatically. These stigmatisms that we have painted as a society, that a mentally ill individual can be easily recognized, whether it be outburst, having the difficulty to communicate, having some abnormal behaviors that may arrive from what it is to be normal. But 9 times out of 10, individuals who have mental health conditions or concerns are amongst us every single day. And it doesn't have to be portrayed as an illness. It has to be portrayed as something that's going on that they have been able to understand, able to unravel, unable to comprehend, or unable to maintain. Sure, at times it is alleviated with medication, can be treated through hypnosis as well as respite care, as well as receiving counseling from a professional individual. But in all realms, at one point in our lives, depending on the level of trauma and drama we expose through, we do have bouts of mental illness. Now you want to say, Andrea, I don't want to put myself in that category. Well, neither do they, and that's what happens every single day, that someone is misunderstood. A life is taken for an abnormal motion or behavior, or someone has been banned or dismissed from their family and society in its entirety. Mental health has to truly be understood and explained, whether it be the effective communication and listening between law enforcement, government officials, teachers, coaches, family members. I can't tell you in my years of service how many people have gotten outcasted from their families and disengaged because they were deemed mentally unstable, or they had a mental health condition. Why is that at the time that you dismiss yourself from your family and loved ones? Mental health is the inability to comprehend what's going on due to a dramatic or traumatic event. Mental health could be a result of a codependence on a substance abuse or behavior. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts that mental health at one point in time, eventually with the right and proper support, can be managed, maintained, and dissipated. We have to be mindful of our conditions. We have to be mindful of how we interact with others. We have to be mindful of how we connect and communicate with one another. I can't tell you how many people I see among the streets and they look at somebody because they're talking to themselves and kind of veer away and shriek. I can't tell you how many times I didn't understand somebody across the street in the city thinking that they had a mental health condition only to realize they were wearing earbuds. We must be open and mindful and well received of mental health. In today's world, especially over the past 3 years, for those Americans and those individuals in the world who have been greatly impacted with society and economic status due to the shutdown of the world. But think about it. That was 3 years in the process. Look at people in up-and-coming developed countries and on different continents. They're dealing with sacrifices, struggles, and strifes every single day, well before 2019. So when you think of mental health, of being fearing an individual is helpless and hopeless and can't do anything and is dependent upon the system, think again. That's the last place they want to be. They do want to be independent. They do want to have a clear mind. But because of the traumatic events that have occurred them, they have been abandoned from all sources. And the resources out there are so limited and lack knowledge about mental health that they are far and few, and usually in the inner cities. So heighten your awareness about mental health. Don't look at it as a label, a scar, a sacrifice, or something to be ashamed of. Look at it as an individual who may be lost in life, but is ready and willing to communicate effectively and listen effectively to get the assistance, support, and guidance that they deserve. My name is Andrea Mason, and as a former mental health and wellness specialist, serving over 2.5 decades of experience in the industries and fields, and my own personal experience when I was young of being a victim of abuse and bullying of all kinds, physical, sexual, spiritual, emotional, and mental. Mental health is just a word. Now we must do something for us to be heard, for those to be listened to, and the individuals like myself who have the expertise and knowledge that they're human beings just like us. They just need to find their way. If you or someone you know is experiencing the stigmatism, the struggles in life of mental health, or if yourself finding your thoughts to be unclear, having no clarity, feeling distraught, depressed, anxious, don't fear mental health, for that's what it is. It's an imbalance of health and stability and level of functioning within the mind. And as the late great Bob Proctor says, dis-ease cannot withstand a healthy mind. So let's rise and unite together to learn more about mental health and how we can help it, support it, and relieve these prisoners of their mind. I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go to AndreaMasons.com to learn more.